Alright, good evening everyone. This is Plus9 from the VoxelBox, here to show you a quick demonstration of how to create VoxelTronix chips. We've really appreciated all of the interest that everyone from the Minecraft community has given us about this plugin. Most of the plugins that we're looking at tonight are Voxel plugins. You can see my action bar is filled with our special tools, which are the Sniper's Wand and Arrow for Voxel Sniper. We've got our paintbrush and our wrench, which are part of Voxel Dupe. I've got a couple signs in my inventory here, and then this is our PRZ Labs inducer. The texture pack I'm using tonight is our Space Texture Pack, which you will see more of in upcoming adventure maps and on our server. I've already set up the device that I'm going to be building tonight, which you can see here is 2 jukeboxes, a couple of circuitry cloth blocks, and this monitor, and then these 2 iron blocks over here. And these blocks are going to represent different components of our VoxelTronix unit. Everything else that you see is just decoration. I like to make my stuff pretty because I'm kind of like that. But let's go ahead and make a chip. I'll go ahead and show you the schematic for the finished device before we start building it here, and we can take a look at it. Every PRZ Labs circuit requires the first block, which is what we call the engine, and that kind of defines a group of what we call chips or little functions that we're going to hook together. So let's go ahead and create our circuit. Well, first I guess I got to initialize. So I've got my player data ready to use, so now I'm ready to work with Tronix. And I'm going to crouch and right click this block, and now that block is selected with my little PRZ Labs inducer. By default, this item is flint. By the time this plugin is released, we're pretty sure everyone will be able to just pick whichever item they want. And so now my block is selected, and I'm going to VoxelTronix, create circuit. At the moment, all engines run on a basic input. Later we'll have more types of inputs. You'll be able to start a VoxelTronix unit with redstone. You'll be able to start it just triggered by player presence or radius, things like that. But at the moment we're going to do a really direct method, which is a basic input method. Then we need another input next to it. This input is not, of course, going to be its own circuit. This is just going to be a chip. And this is actually going to be what we click to turn on our device when we're done. So here's our new chip. We'll make another basic input here. So you can see on the bottom there, we see the coordinates for the blocks clicked. Now if I destroy this block here, its VoxelTronix unit are still present because VoxelTronix is an invisible web that is cast over your entire Minecraft world. So that chip exists in that block space, whether there's a block in it or not. I'm going to go ahead and put my console back though, because I do want it there, because later I'm going to want to click on it. So these next things are these circuitry blocks. I'm going to set these up to be tick delay chips, which control timing. We can create 2 of them, and with 2 together you have a clock. So I'm going to right click this block and VT, new chip, and we're going to call this one tick delay. Tick delays, of course, need to be set. We need to tell it how long to wait. So we're going to go ahead and tell this guy VT chipcom set, and I'm going to make this really short, set 1. And then here I'm going to do the same thing, right click this block, I'm going to make another tick delay, and now I'm going to make it also set to 1. So that's one sort of click of code time, or one redstone tick would be one good way to think about it. The last 2 things we're going to create on the first end of our circuit are, I'm going to create a fan, which will be right here. If you saw the Bounce House video, that device worked on a fan. Fans push entities around. So VT, new chip, fan. And the fan also needs to be have its settings made. So fans have lots of variables. They're really configurable and really very cool. So here we're going to go to chipcom, and I want this fan to blow up. I want its radius to be 1. I want its length to probably be about 10, and its strength along the y-axis, I'm going to go ahead and set this guy to maximum, which at the moment is 5. Strength y, and I'm even going to put an offset on it, which will be -2. So that offset is in opposition to the direction. So the fan actually will begin blowing from 2 blocks below where that iron block where the fan is. That's just to make sure I catch any entities that may fall or be too close to that iron block to not get blown around. And there you can see my command has been accepted. I've got direction up, radius 1, length 10, strength y 5, and offset -2. That looks pretty good. So my circuit is just about ready. The only thing that's left here is I have to tell VoxelTronix how to path my signal. When I put an input into this circuit, where does that sort of signal path flow to, and where does it flow from? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this basic input and I'm going to left click it once, and this is how we set links in VoxelTronix. First we set the first end of the link, and now we set the second end of the link. So this console in front of me is going to link to this tick delay. This tick delay is going to link to this tick delay, and then this tick delay will go back into this tick delay. That's what's going to create our clock, right? Because this thing will click, it's going to send it to the other cloth block. Cloth block 2 will wait and send it back to cloth block 1. Of course, each chip can have multiple connections, so this clock that now repeats and goes around itself, we're going to hook that up to the fan. And so the clock speed here is essentially going to determine the rotational speed, or how often this fan is going to pulse with its kind of wind that will blow entities around. And there we are. Chip fan, tick delay to fan. Alright, so if I go ahead and turn my circuit on now, I should have a fan that blows entities straight up in the air. So I'm going to go ahead and right click this engine. We're going to turn it on. Here's our basic input, and you can see our input accepted, thread accepted, and I should get a nice jumble if I throw anything in front of this fan here. Oop. So you can see that fan working. It's blowing that sign straight up from where it is.